Okay. Okay, well, I believe we locked and loaded. I believe we live, y'all. Heads up, eyes open, and fist clenched. Y'all, let's get ready. Let's get ready to do this here. Welcome to another episode of Free 'em All Radio. We are coming to you live and direct from the historical landmark, the Hampton House. That's right, the historical landmark, the Hampton House. Call in number 929-477-3785. Call in number 929-477-3785. I'm moving kind of fast. I'm supposed to check on some bullet points for some few things, but we're going to shoot from the hip. You know what it do. Weekly program of the Black Panther Party Cubs. In the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all, every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Call-in number, 929-477-3785. Press 1 to be heard. Matter of fact, Instagram, bear with me for a minute. Let me send this flyer to color people real quick to tune in. All right, free them all. 1 second. Y'all bear with me 1 second. Let me just get this flyer out to color people. Okay, let's get right back into it. We cross the state lines. Bring Instagram back in. So bear with us, as we say, better yet, Cub with us. Panther Cub with us, y'all. Panther Cub with us. 929-477-3785. My sister Angel Dickinson tapping in with us. Free them all right back at you, my sister. Yes, we well in this end. We hope and the sentiments are reciprocal. The sentiments are reciprocal. Hope all's well with you and the family on that end, my sister. Yes, indeed. Y'all let people know, come on in. Oh, hold on. You're not hearing nothing? Okay, 929-47. We not hearing nothing. Let's get ready to start this over again. Wait a minute. The blog talk might not be working. Try this again. Make sure. Okay, make sure we brought in the blog talk.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please hold and you will be able to listen to the show.
Fred, where does the Black Panther Party stand concerning the
Bear with us. Cub with us. We locked and loaded. I got feedback. It's feedback. Cut the feedback. Okay, right on. All right, y'all. Y'all, we had a little technical difficulty. We rocking and rolling, man. 929-477-3785. We crossing state lines. You know what I'm saying? We going through Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? We talking about what's happening with Tyree Nichols, Mississippi. We talking about the contradictions in regards to up in the ante. You know what I'm saying? We cannot afford, again, elementary assessment. Let me know if y'all can hear me. The callers can hear me on the blog talk, Instagram, YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook. I know I got reports that we be fading in and out. So give me a heads up that y'all can hear us loud and clear in regards to Blog Talk Radio. 929-477-3785 and press 1. Right on. Give me a heads up, okay? Checking in from ATL in the building. Let me know if you can hear us live and direct on the StreamYard. You know what I'm saying? Live and direct. Let me know if y'all, okay, Instagram and Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And put the word out. You know what I'm saying? Tap some, matter of fact, take a pause for the calls. And tap somebody and say, hey, man, tune on in. In fact, as we said, Cub on in with us. You know what I'm saying? As a verb. You don't have to be a membership of the Black Panther Party Cubs, but do a little cubbing with us tonight, y'all. Wednesday night. Put on your schedule, y'all. Tap in with us, y'all. In the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history. 929-477-3785 and press 1 to be heard. Again, when I said we crossing state lines, we're gonna be talking about the Cook County Jail. We talking about Tyree Nichols in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? We talking about what's going down. Up in the ante. Like you said, I had a discussion with some people earlier today talking about what about the black police on us? We need more black. Let's look at the faces. Look who was involved. The politics. You know what I'm saying? Tyree Nichols. You know what I'm saying? The assault, the attack on this brother in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Up the ante. You know what I'm saying? Don't get us wrong. It's beautiful. We're talking about a whole of black people coming together, so on and so forth. But again, we have to heighten the contradiction. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in a similar spirit, where you seen in Black Power movement right here, right in the '60s, right here inside the United States. And do not get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Man, the contradictions are heightened. Even if you want to use white people, for example, the Civil War, those contradictions, it raised biological brother against biological brother. You know what I'm saying? You did North Korea, Kim Il-sung, North Korea, they up there, and it's okay. Certain dynamics like whose interest, who the South Koreans, who they roll with. Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, and GIOP, you know what I'm saying, up and ante, you know what I'm saying? You look at China, you know what I'm saying, with discussions, it wasn't just about, you know what I'm saying, the Red Army, who was with the Kuomintang, all these different dynamics, who aligned with the British. Now, I know again it's idealistic. We say, well, when are we gonna all come together? I hate to break the dreams, man, you know what I'm saying, but it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? No community has had this monolithic, everybody want the same interest, you know what I'm saying? But we look for common points of unity. And when we say politics, food, clothing, and shelter, you know what I'm saying? Who's addressing those basics? We can debate, we can say, okay, what's your astrological sign? That's the basic needs. You know, a lot of times, y'all, when I talk to people, I say, are you all right? Your basic survival needs, food, clothing, and shelter, security, you know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about the different means, who's addressing this here. Food, clothing, and shelter. People say, I don't understand politics. Survival. You may got to go through some different entrails of, you know, some middlemen and middle women, but at the end of the day, your politics is impacted by who feeds you, how you view food, how you clothe and shelter, your security, your mind state. You know what I'm saying? People talk about, you know what I'm saying? Man, well, it's all the same. But it's an old axiom that say a lot of people believe the white man's ice is colder than the black man's ice. The politics of that, you know what I'm saying? Again, everything is political. People say, well, no, we just talk about the dynamics. Let's just talk about the gun. Minister European News said we must even politicize the gun. We made the party, we made the people's gun different from the state's gun. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking about different dynamics. Talking about housing. Talking about, you know what I'm saying? This brother, Tyree Nichols, they say, I think it was 2 minutes. Literally 2 minutes from pulling into his household. 2 minutes. Man, go look at the faces. You know what I'm saying? And look at the dynamics of someone. When people say, well, all we concerned about how they look, so on and so forth. Did this here. Who trained you, who made you, who you identify with, and you know what I'm saying? Who is an attack dog for the system, all that. And that's where you have to up the ante. Heighten the contradictions, you know what I'm saying? So I want you to call in your thoughts on that. What's going on, saying? How you feel in regards to Tyree Nichols, other cases, you know what I'm saying? Because the deal is, a lot of times people try to minimize, say, well, the question, as we fight against racism, we want on racist police, whatever the case may be, the deal is power. Power. We are fighting for power over our lives. We are fighting. Did see a lot of people engage in a whole bunch of intellectual masturbation. In other words, a bunch of words and terms and debate about what color the pyramids was, so and so. We talking about the power to determine the destiny of our lives. You know what I'm saying? And visionary. Minister European News say power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. To get to your house. You know what I'm saying? You're shooting the dice. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times we get caught up. These images, these facades of freedom, as Malcolm X say, America's democracy is an hypocrisy. And this system is so Machiavellian. It gives you these quote-unquote slave success stories. And you say, man, with this person, they get all these resources. And you at a time when you see it, with it, man, that leash get pulled back. I'm talking about athletes, entertainers, rappers, what you can say and what you can't say. You know what I'm saying? The lack of respect for your respective community, you know what I'm saying? And also, a lot of times people are subjective. So, well, as long as I do this, as long as I'm straight. As we talking about, I made a comment the other day, similar to the way the white community has filed a lawsuit about how TikTok in particular, social media platforms has impacted their children. With our community in particular, we're bombarded with, well, man, it's something that we're doing wrong. It all starts in the home. As long as you treat the black children, you cannot negate the damage that Grand Theft Auto alone, that game alone, and you know what I'm saying, and it's embarrassing being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, say, well, my child don't watch that, so on and so forth. This here. It's a direct correlation to the carjackings in our community. In fact, I want to put a call in for some legal assistance. We want to do a mass mobilization, charge the makers of Grand Theft Auto, and tap people. So what they got to do with the, you know what I'm saying, how you connect that? Everything political. Everything. Go back and look at the video games that was when the U.S. was invading Afghanistan. Go look at the video games. They had video games with the Taliban, Al Qaeda, all this in the video game. This is they tell you programming. That's the terms they use. So we're gonna be touching on that too, amongst other things, y'all. We riding, y'all. We said we ride. What's happening, Mississippi? What's happening in Oakland, California? Y'all remember the campaign we talked about you know what I'm saying, in which was a template or a microcosm about, you know what I'm saying, again. That's the question of shelter, and you have to say, what's to this? Why, you know what I'm saying? You even different arenas from the bourgeoisie, the ruling class himself is acknowledging it, and it's good and bad with that. Some of the good things is, you know what I'm saying, like I told to a brother earlier, they had a shot from this movie that's supposed to come out with Eddie Murphy, Nia Long, some other people, and there was a shot where Eddie Murphy was on the set. It's supposed to be about interracial relationships, and it's a discussion happening now because the ruling class said, okay, now you can talk about this. And Eddie Murphy had a sweater that said the government murdered Fred Hampton. Now, Chairman Mao say it's terrible, but it's fine, because you know our position, Chairman Fred was assassinated, but that man, just to get in that arena for discussion to happen, that's good. However, the deal is you can take that, but never leave these individuals to provide the summation. We have to provide the summation, y'all. Real talk. The newly elected mayor of Los Angeles, California, has said through the door, this is an emergency. I'm talking stuff that anybody going through Skid Row and other places has been in the question of housing. And you can go so long with saying, well, maybe they didn't pay their rent, maybe they just lazy. You can run this jive so long. For, you know what I'm saying? Again, because they have certain communities, we have to hold the line even when it's not popular. We held the line. We be consistent with the line. We're talking about miles for housing. We're talking about the campaign to save the Hampton House. We're not doing it in a subjective way. In other words, just trying about, as long as I get a house. Heightening the politics of heightening the contradictions, not just with that particular case, not just that particular entity. In other words, how the community is impacted. Similar to when Tupac said about Brenda got a baby. Cats say, well, what that got to do? Say, how does that? They had a dialogue. Listen to the song Tupac, Brenda's got a baby. The other guy said, well, what that got to do with me? That's what the cats was actually saying. We talking about housing. A lot of people say, well, they should, how them not having a house, how did it impact me? And that's one of the tactics of the system. How you subjugate it to individuality. You know what I'm saying? In fact, Nixon had a whole campaign. Me, I. Do terms like community. You know what I'm saying? You dismantle that. One of America's policies is to create chaos and restore order. We moving and grooving, y'all. 929-477-3785. We finna tell what's man, hey, put it in historical and political context. Oakland, California, birthplace of the Black Panther Party. First of all, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't know it, the state know what type of soil they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you look at certain man, they all this new discussion about DNA, they can tell you your background in certain locations where certain forces be there. They know the potential. You know the state knows the history of Oakland. Knows the potential of Oakland. It's like a touch of water. Like on certain people, just a touch of water is back to life. It's his brother who I got a lot of respect for. We used to make jokes about him. He was he's cut up. You know what I'm saying? Working out. You know what I'm saying? Did a lot of prison time. And sometimes when he get out on the streets, he will be, listen to this word, y'all, demoralized. Not no dope fiend, strawberry, none of that. Demoralized. But all he had to do was, man, this cat was a go-getter. And I would tell all the young guys who didn't know, I say, hey, man, don't get him twisted. He going through some struggles. There's some lows he going through. But this cat, the essence of him, this is a go-getter, man. And sometimes they had to learn the hard way. Oakland, man, we go through political ups and downs in these different locations. You know what I'm talking about? You best believe this system is never forgotten. They will never forget that geographically small location that shook the world. That political giant that shook the world, y'all. So you start talking anything that you can go through certain locations, even the most, even individuals in the most lower stages or certain locations. You say, oh, they just get high over there, whatever. You get the political dynamics that's intertwined in that. You know what I'm saying? We want to talk about this here. What's to this here? Why you know what I'm saying? We said, well, maybe the system ain't got, they don't have the resources to house people, so on and so forth. We seeing in Chicago right now. We seeing right now people are calling certain contradictions. We're right here in Woodlawn with the Mayor Lightfoot administration. How all of a sudden they opened up a whole school and converted it to housing for people. You know what I'm saying? In contrast, children, the Chicago broke American history records. Where they closed over 50 schools at one time. People can't get housing. In fact, the public school system, Chicago has one of the highest number of homeless children. So people talk about all the children that start working, studying harder, it starts in the home, they ain't got no homes. But you seen with certain timing, I say timing, everything, politics like real estate, time and location, all that. You look at the time when El Chapo's son supposed got locked up right before U.S. President Biden come to Mexico. You look at the timing when all of a sudden this building in Woodlawn get open for housing. You look at the timing when certain legislation get passed about who can enter the country, who can't enter the country. You look through California in general. On one hand, the blatant contrast. You know what I'm saying? The resource they allocated. You know what I'm saying? You say, wait a minute. You can correlate to the. I use this example a number of times. When you go order a Whopper or a Big Mac from Burger King or McDonald's, you know what I'm saying? And order it wrong. Say, no, I didn't order tomatoes. Then take it back. Logically, you used to probably would think, okay, I'm not gonna eat that. You're not gonna eat it, throw it, give it away. They can't. They cannot give it. They cannot. I'm in Oakland. When I remember we started getting back. I remember it's probably me being locked up. 1989. Yeah, because I remember it was right after the death of Minister U.E.P. Newton. I remember, sharpening my political teeth on certain campaigns. I remember the work we put in to getting houses. You know what I'm saying? Get homes for people. And I remember they would wait till we get through doing it. Then they would come through. The state would come through and vamp on us. You know what I'm saying? Like lock us up. Like real talk. And you keep trying to make sense out of this here. You keep trying to make sense out of capitalism. You know what I'm saying? This was designed to do. A lot of people say, I can't believe why they don't award people who really can stop crying. Why they don't acknowledge people who really can, doing some like housing people. And the deal is, what is birthed from? It was birthed on kidnapping, enslavement of African people. This system. A lot of times people be having this look on their face. They be surprised. I can't believe that we trying this. You know what I'm saying? We come through the door clear, cognizant. Like people have a look on their faces, kind of like in that movie, the TV show The Sopranos. The guy Tony Soprano was sweating. Was taxing. One of the guys, the guy's wife was friends with Tony Soprano's wife in the mafia. And the guy said, Tony, I can't believe this, man. Why you doing this to me? You know what I'm saying? My business. I thought you was friends. Tony Soprano said, what do you think the mafia is? What is your definition of the mafia? What is the definition of this system? What it's designed to do? And again, you look at, those who contend, the work that's happening on the ground, imperative part of hiding the contradictions, y'all. We live in the record 929-477-3785. I'm getting this cup of coffee. Right now, y'all. But I need y'all to tap in. Come on in the radio show. You know what I'm saying? I can't click over right now because my volume up. Tap in. Bring me my call in if I get a call in queue. Instagram. I'm gonna have to cut Instagram up for 1 second and bring it back because I know I done lost my volume. When the calls come in, I lose my volume. Let me know if y'all can still hear me on Instagram. Let me know. Can y'all still hear me on Instagram? Give me a heads up. It sound. I know it. Okay, I'm clicking off and bring it right back on. Okay, 1 second. I knew the sound was gonna be off. Okay. I'm getting a cup of coffee. Bring my coffee.
Y'all ever wonder why we different from the motherfuckers? These grown ass collapses, chairs that have no problem coming out of support of. Yeah, you wonder. If nothing else but your son card. You about to get mad, y'all wonder sometimes.
No, I'm ready. Hey. That's Cub Shoes. Put me over. Bring my call in queue. I know there's callers in queue. We got callers in queue?
Fremont chair, no callers in queue. Callers gotta press 1 to get in queue. No callers in the queue.
Call us 929-477-3785. You got to press 1 for me to bring you in. 929-477-3785. Press 1 so we can see can bring you on in. 929-477-3785. Press 1. I know Monroe, Louisiana. That's right, Monroe, Louisiana. My comrade's supposed to be touching in with the lady on the school board. What she said on social media. We get a call from there. Oakland, California supposed to be touching in with us. 929-477-3785. Press 1. 929-477-3785. Press 1. Stephen Lynn in the building, free them all. Big rap in the building.
Free them all, we got a call in queue, 601 area code. Free them all, Chuck.
Right on, free them all. Welcome to Free them all radio.
Excuse me, I'm feeling a little under right now. This is Dominique Walker from Marshall Housing. Chairman, thank you so much for having us here.
Welcome, sister.
Just here to talk about what's going on in Oakland and at Marshall Housing. I was arrested last night at a sit-in for, we want Alameda County, our Board of Supervisors, we have an unincorporated part outside of Oakland and Berkeley, California, where they don't have any tenant protection.
Let me jump in with you. 1 second, sis. Let me just those tap listening in, y'all. Dominique Walker, this of Moms and Housing. Again, I prefaced it with we talking about down in Oakland, California. I don't know. Got good. A lot of people's memories are those who not just first time listeners with us, or first time getting down with us, y'all. You remember you already remember. I mean the scenes. I'm talking. It wasn't live. Right there. Ironically, where I'm sitting at now. This was a lot of people have heard how we've heard Oakland, Chicago. Not we, but the Black Panther Party. Oakland, Chicago were sister cities, And it was the time that they say the Hampton House campaign, the campaign for models for housing, and it, you know what I'm saying, it was a microcosm, a template. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, think back. I'm talking about it was front page, mainstream media, everything with the state was talking about. Making them. Like straight out move. We had the mothers that literally the community. You know what I'm saying? Frontline freedom fighters. You know what I'm saying? Field Marshal Tour, Councilwoman, Community Secretary Carol Fife, and others. I'm talking like literally. And this is. Again, talking really high up in the ante about this country about housing, and it wasn't just this. A lot of times we look at different struggles, and I don't want to prolong it too long, but we see snippets of it. Like, okay, this is just about housing. Again, stuff you take for granted, and the whole even the battles that you know what I'm saying, the contradictions that were exposed. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, like even the banksters and gangsters. You know what I'm saying? The who come through and you go like you look at the price of housing and how they, these contradictions, how they be ripping up. You know what I'm saying? Ripping up the land and the trickle down impact of how these that like people like we talking about the, like different programs like breakfast program. People say, okay, it's nice y'all feeding children, but the trickle down impact of our person. How you feel it be connected to the correlated to the crime, everything in our community. How is to our people even not having a place? And the house was there, and with arsenal. The state released on a fight, you know what I'm saying, to take this house back, you know, and also, but it was so inspiring, you know what I'm saying, and I remember this young sister here, man. I'm to my man, the consistency, and we was honored to be on the battlefield with him. But so it's ongoing. These campaigns are not just these are not no one night stand, no hit and quit. These are ministry people talking about protracted struggles. So a lot of times we say, man, we'll see certain things. Oh, that was beautiful, y'all done that. The ongoing again protracted struggle. I was going to preface with this here. So this is the first time. In fact, they was on Freedom on Radio years ago. Inside the house, where saying, I'm saying helicopters and with a shed. I forgot what's his name. It comes to me in a minute. Notorious police chief that came in his blatant statement, what he was planning on doing to the house, who he knew was in that house, and we talk about that also. But I just want to help preface who we got here, sister. So we honored and humbled to have you online with us. So bring us up to speed. We seeing some of the pictures about, and we hearing different reports about in the courthouse, the standoff in Oakland, California. And a lot of people thought the campaign for Miles Housing was over, everything was, but you know what I'm saying, but the ongoing, not only at the we had to get some housing, you know what I'm saying, for the people, but just really hiding this contradiction about, you know what I'm saying, why is this still going on, and you know what I'm saying, and what, you know, and this ain't your, I don't want to cut it off, but take you the wrong, put it out there too prematurely, but even you being locked up last night, you know what I'm saying, I'm flashing back when you was locked up, you and other sisters, y'all was locked up before we went down there, so. Don't take for granted that we know we have some new listeners here, and people want to know some of the background on, you know what I'm saying, so you know some of the history with this long struggle that's been going on down there with Moms for Housing and what happened last night.
Yeah, we are still fighting. Since we won the house, we were able to house 2 sisters and their children, and that's still not enough. It's not enough. And we know that when there's a crisis in the city, it affects us the most. And that is why we are fighting so hard. So last night we had a sit-in with the Board of Supervisors. They are not wanting to pass tenant protections. And if they don't pass this, bottom line is there's going to be 10,000 more folks spilling out on the street, could potentially be evicted. And we know that if you look at the homeless population, 7 out of 10 of them are Black people. So we know what that population is going to look like. And we put our bodies on the line, and we're saying no. And I got arrested, but we are still, there's another meeting. We have actions going on, and we're going to stop every meeting that they have until they make that decision. But it's an ongoing struggle.
Dominique, you said okay. Give us like tenant protections. What is this? What is some of the Oh, they can't keep calling them. Just give me 1 second. Yes, I'm on the radio show right now. Yes, Remo. Hello. Yes. Yeah. Come on. I'll let you in. I'll let you in. I'll let you in. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Okay, I'm self-critical. Forgive me. Lock that door, bro. Dominique, forgive me. You said tenant protections. What? Okay. For those, could you explain that to us? Just push the door, bro. Y'all
Yeah,
good?
so tenant protection,
push it up. Don't shut
some
all
of
the
them
way.
are just cause. So your landlord just can't
Don't
evict
shut
you
all the
for
way.
any reason. And another one is a fair chance. So if you've been formally convicted of a crime, that can't prevent you from getting housing in California. And also a rent registry. So people that just own property just can't have it sitting. They have to have it registered with the city so we know what's going on with it. And that's basic because housing is a human right. We should all have a right to housing, especially black folks when we've been discriminated against as far as housing with redlining and just discrimination from the government and on all sides.
For those, it was redlining in particular. I was gonna give the so people when they hear these different terms, one of the skills of the system is they these euphemisms and these words that may seem non-nefarious isn't damaging. We hear terms like redlining, different terms. And I'm thinking back, like just give the Chicago history, if I can. Dr. King even talked about that. When he came to Chicago, how he been a lot of places, but he had never the racism. And when we hear these terms about the racism, people a lot of times people try to devalue it to just white people don't like black people. We need to all just get along, understand each other. But the impact of how it impacts again, food, clothing, and shelter, and it was in the late '50s, Chicago, Hyde Park became like a thriving black community, and they had systematically, I say they, because Mayor Daley, who would later be Mayor Daley Richard Sr., who was I think the clerk of Cook County at the time, they had put together this. He was a clerk, and they had simultaneously said something to the effect that you have to have insurance on your homes, and then simultaneously they told insurance companies do not sell insurance to black people, and that was one of the ways they had pushed a lot of black people up out of there. And then in the 1960s, it was when Woodlawn became a thriving black community. Like I guess kind of get people like a understand like a local Tulsa, Oklahoma. And these are different examples where people say, pull yourself a better bootstraps, whatever. We make these success stories, but the attacks that come down on them, that counterinsurgency needs to be put in context. And the Woodlawn, you've seen thriving black business and black, the populace of black people start to increase. And then there was an actual program, the Woodlawn Experiment, where entities such as the University of Chicago, Sears and Roebuck, First National Bank, Rockefeller Foundation, where they have funded over $100 million cold cash money to trickle down to create a crime epidemic. And where the black people moved at mass numbers, and University of Chicago and other entities got their property. And on the international level, you look at places like Rwanda, people say, well, how do these people get there? These other nationalities, whatever. These are major land grabs that are happening, and people say, well, in reality, the housing that this government has and continues to have our people in particular is the penitentiaries and the graveyards. And I'm just saying this, so when we talk about the campaigns for Moms for Housing, I don't want people to devalue this and just say, well, we just work together, save our money. But the attack on, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, of depriving us of these basic survival needs. And you think about, like, you know, like even that stability, like the politics of even the term of a home, like, you know what I'm saying, like when you transient, you constantly moving, you know what I'm saying, the impact on the family, so on and so forth. And again, that stability that we're deprived of, you know what I'm saying, and a disconnect from a community. So I'm really trying to get us to really envision the importance of these campaigns, and as well as the importance of those who fighting to protect these basic entities, and how even if you say, well, I'm cool, I got a house, I'm cool, I got food, you know, I'm cool, I got clothing, but the deal is the philosophical one of the philosophical tools that we relate to is dialectical materialism, and one of the characteristics of that is I'm impacted by you being homeless, and vice versa. And I tell people they can see that in a reactionary sense. Oh man, you see what's going on now? Oh, you don't say. The ecosystem, you start taking certain elements, you take basic, regardless if they're Capricorns or Virgos, Scorpios, you take basic dynamics, food, clothing, and shelter, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever community, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people try to make this more complex than it is. The Black Panther Party implemented the first free breakfast program. Children going to school, people say, well, black people, black children, their grades just don't be up to par. Black Panther Party said, hold them up. You know what I'm saying? He said any child, red, black, or whatever color, is going, you know what I'm saying, going to school hungry. It's hard to even, it's insulting to even have the discussion about adverbs and verbs and pronouns and mathematical problems. You know what I'm saying? Basically, they hungry. We talking about, you know what I'm saying, and I hope you listen to our sister just pointed out the term she said. She just, they was, on the battlefield, but the children, the house, and the community, you know, even during even the events that we had, and even I remember that campaign. And even with the Hampton House, you go back and look how the community is transformed. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at right now, it was 9 overdoses next door before we got here. You know what I'm saying? Building abandoned. One of the sisters just put up it just now. So these vacant for years. That's always we pointing out. The monster housing campaign. These houses be vacant. So ideally you would say, okay, that's a great thing that you're doing. That you put some life into it. We are in the contradiction. They weren't even paying no attention. The house next door, my cousin died in a fire in the house next door to the Hampton House 43 years ago. It said abandoned, nothing. Once we cleaned it up, once we worked on it, then once we get the historical landmark, that's when the bankers like, oh, now we gotta have our property back. And it's a similar contradiction, y'all. Similar contradiction. It's like a brother just did something recently. He saved somebody. I think the Cleveland case. So when they knew he was there all the time. When he saved some people, also, we got a warrant on him now. Oh, now you looking for him. So these, you know what I'm saying? This here, we got to hide these contradictions. So Dominique, okay, you was locked up last night. What's the status? Any court dates? Any sites the people need to go to keep abreast on this respective campaign?
I have a court date on February 23rd at 9 a.m. and at Pacific Standard Time. More to come. We're still organizing. The folks haven't taken that vote. There's a lot more action going on coming up this weekend. momsforhousing.org, and you can follow us on our social media handles, and we'll be posting as we go.
Could someone type this in for me as we speak? On Moms for Housing. Give me that again, sister. Give me that again.
momsforhousing.org, and it's Moms for Housing on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
My fault. Say it one more time, sis.
Which one? momsforhousing.org, and then it's just Moms for Housing for all of our social media handles.
Right on. Moms for Housing. Make sure y'all tap that in, share that. Those who on the ground, February 23rd, we need warm bodies. We need warm bodies, you know what I'm saying, in the courtroom, you know what I'm saying, to pack that courthouse. And, you know what I'm saying, it's hot in Oakland. It's so much, again, it's hot all over. When you have the ability and opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to sum this up. You know what I'm saying? This is one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Again, they just had the mayor of Los Angeles say, this is an emergency. You know, the housing, and then you won't do. A lot of people want to spend all these resources and doing studies and you ain't got to do no big. You go right to the ground, see people who out here consistent. Go back and go look at the times. You know what I'm saying? Councilwoman Carol Fife, look at the resume of when this was not a popular discussion. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times it sounds when you have these different entities, whether it be food, clothing, and shelter, it's a subjective need. Like you can't relate to it. Like, man, I can't believe nobody getting no house. And you know what I'm saying? The numbers that's hidden right, you know what I'm saying? And again, the trickle down impact, how it impacts the people and the community, the people, think back, take a second, take a pause, look back in your own life. When you moving, that whole, as a child, think back in your own life, you know what I'm saying? The separation from your friends, the school, all that, the different dynamics. Now add to that, if you can. Add to that, the absence of a stability, that you know where you're going. You know what I'm saying? Well, you don't know where you're going to be at. And that's long we start talking about the status of the community. This ain't no, see, the state, it don't be no one prong attack. This is it moves in concert. It's at a time where, you know what I'm saying, we don't even have the communities where you can't be left, you can't be outside no more. I had to remind myself the other night. It's certain blocks you just can pull up on, you can sit out all night. I said, whoa, I gotta remind, man, that ain't happening no more. It used to be a time when I grew up, I could walk down the block I grew up and I could blindfold it. I can tell you which family last name was there. The communities are destabilized. So now you got this, you homeless, you out there, you know where to go. You say, hey, the organizations are dismantled. If this was happening anywhere else, it would be acknowledged as war tactics. War tactics, the dismantling of a community, taking away communication, taking away, you know what I'm saying, pulling certain forces out of progressive fields, you know what I'm saying, whether it be the entertainers, whether it be the athletes, whether it be the politicians, whatever you. Certain points of you say, wait, why is this happening? It's working in concert. And people say, oh man, you paranoid, you tripping. No, this is real talk, y'all. This is real talk. We live on the record free on my radio, 929-477-3785. Press 1 to be in. So Dominique, anything else you want to add? You want to add to us? You want to add with us?
No, that's it. I just wanted to thank you again for uplifting our struggle and having me here.
We honored and we humbled. Oakland, California, y'all make sure y'all keep that cord locked and loaded, y'all. We 929-477-3785. I think we got some more calls coming in. We looking for a sister who wears a myriad of hats. You know what I'm saying? Councilwoman Carol Fife, a communications secretary, a force who many forces are not familiar with, should get familiar with. Matter of fact, if y'all can, look on my Facebook profile. And that's the article that's talking about even the threats, you know what I'm saying, that she in particular has been subjected to. And it's not, and just because, a lot of times, it had an old saying go, if a tree falls in the forest and you don't hear it, doesn't make a sound. Yeah, just because you didn't hear it don't mean it ain't make no sound. Just because this is being put out on mainstream media now, this has been something that, you know what I'm saying, there's been a common contradiction in regards to the threats and attacks, so on and so forth. So we want to talk about that, you know what I'm saying. I just was joined by this young brother and sister just came over here just now. I'm going to bring them up in a minute, you know what I'm saying. I met them today at the DuSable Museum. And I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, we got any calls in queue first on the boards?
Callers on the line need to press 1 if they want to be on queue. Share no callers in queue, real long.
929-477-3785. Check this out. Press 1 to get in. I had a meeting with some brothers today. I went live and I heard the volume was in and out, you know what I'm saying, on Facebook. One brother been on, I think he locked up 37 years, just get out. He's on death row. So I was like, man, I had met with them today. And the other brother was locked up with me and I was locked up. And I come from, I said, well, I'm going to be out south anyway. So I had to do some meetings, some follow-up meetings, some contradictions at the Bud Billiken Parade. I had to meet with the foundation, the Chicago Defender. So we had to do some follow-up, you know, send dialogue about that. We'll keep y'all abreast about that too. But I come down, so after the meeting at DuSable Museum South, on 5700 College Grove. I would be remiss if I say DuSable Museum without acknowledging the late, great Dr. Margaret T. Burroughs. Matter of fact, those who can see, this is Dr. Margaret T. Burroughs. That's me with her. As you see, I was thinner and had a lot more hair on my head. This is when I first come home. Dr. Margaret T. Burroughs, among so many things. She man. She was Fremont, okay. I'm pick up on that. I'm gonna pick up on that in 1 second, y'all. Y'all know how we do it. Those who just tuning in with me, multitasking. We moving and grooving, y'all. We riding. We in different lanes. You know what I'm saying? Don't trip on us with no speed limit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't no seatbelt. We ain't got no seatbelt on. We crossing through Mississippi, coming through Oakland. Africa might call in the Cook County Jail. We moving and grooving, y'all. In the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history, y'all. Who we got here on the call? Call in queue.
Call 510 UNQ.
This is Councilmember Carol Fife.
Councilmember Carol Fife. Love, respect, welcome to Free 'em All Radio. We just
Love and respect, Free 'em all.
Free 'em all. We well, first and foremost, let me we prefaced. I don't know if you were able to hear earlier. We get a little background with the present climate. We definitely, anytime we talk about Oakland in particular, we attempt our best to give some background and the historical significance and political significance of what we're dealing with, and this talking about the present climate. And I would tell people, those who are not familiar with even, we can't, not tell we can romanticize his work and talk, how beautiful it is. I tend to be careful about talking about. We cannot negate the counterinsurgency. You know what I'm saying? Because that's in layman's terms, the attacks that come with this, and so a lot of people say, well, I don't want to hear about that part. Even with the movie Judas and the Black Messiah, a lot of people they say they didn't want to hear about the part about we shouldn't talk about William O'Neill, the agent of Vacatur. Let's just talk about the leather jackets, the berets, the program, and believe me, that for the morale, that's beautiful. And that's the reality of it. But there's also a reality that comes with this. That we as realists, not pessimists, that we have to acknowledge, and to put in the correct context, because it's important, because when you talk about struggle, is and you hear about different the Moms for Housing campaign, the work the CRC is doing, and on outside looking in, the people might say, okay, that's right on. We heard about the gift cards, we heard about the position about the housing, but then we start talking about, we want to put in, maybe it's a characteristic of trauma, what have you, about the what happened at that house, at the Moms for Housing. You know what I'm saying? The struggles went down, the helicopters, the tear gas, all these different, you know what I'm saying? The state blatantly said what they gonna do, and the targeting, the slander, you know what I'm saying? And what is not coming to surface, but this even talked about now in regards to a lot of people are just getting familiarized with, but something that's not new in regards to the blatant outright, the threats and all. And people say, well, a lot of times we are sold this what's the saying? They have a lot of sticks and stones, they break my bones, and just dismiss it. Don't trip on the cycle. This. To put in context, like when you see I'm thinking about two movies in particular now. Now I'm thinking about this now. The Malcolm, Spike Lee's version of Malcolm X, and I think that was imperative. That part about even the phone calls with Betty Shabazz, I think it's imperative. The scene in Judas and Black Messiah, the scene where Daniel Kaluuya comes into Alicia Joy Powell portraying Spurgeon Jake Winter's mother, and the phone calls. This a lot of times we divided to the bullets, the assassination, but the psychological warfare. The isolation, the slander, all this. All these different dynamics. That impact our people in general. And it's concentrated on those. Fighting for self-determination. Bring us up to speed. What's happening, Councilwoman? With regards to these reports about the threats and the climate, what's presently happening right there in Oakland, California?
Well, I can say that
what's happening is they're afraid of a loss of management power, and there are people that are have lost their positions in their management positions that are trying to reorganize themselves because, partly because I'm in the position that I'm in to do something about the extracted wealth and the extracted resources from West Oakland, number one. But the status quo is losing their minds right now because they are losing the positions. And so, there's often an uptick. It's like an EKG that happens when status quo representatives go on Fox News and talk about Oakland, because that creates a ripple effect. And, any opposition to the status quo will be made the target, and that is often to do the work that we do. So that's
What is it? I was just coming yesterday that I usually don't like being in Chicago around election time. You know what I'm saying? Because it get real nasty. You know what I'm saying? Like, in particular, they refer to it as the machine politics, and it's like even those who are not directly involved in it, the climate. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure in every oppressed community they talk about like how the police get more hotter. That you know what I'm saying, because they really send a message to us like don't come outside, don't vote. You know what I'm saying? And so all that is a certain era of time that we know election time is coming. Is it what's as far as electoral right now in Chicago? I think it's set for February 28th, and you can see it. You can see like even the different you can see the pus coming out the sore in certain arenas. You know what I'm saying? What's going like? Is there elections going on? Or hold on 1 second. Okay.
there's always an election going on. There's always somebody running for something. For my particular race, the election isn't until time that the presidential election.
Mm-hmm. What unique hello?
Can you hear me okay?
Are you fine? Yes, yeah, we back, we on, yes. What is, well, let me ask this.
I was just saying they're trying to get a head start on my my race.
Okay, got you. That's something. That's one of that's one thing that I want to point out about. I mentioned earlier about protracted struggle, and it's like a protracted, like the long range. A lot of times we look at situations in a reactionary assessment, like this just we wait till the last minute, but that's good and bad to know. You know what I'm saying? So again, it should be noted. You know what I'm saying? The state thinks long range, and they move long in a protracted sort of way. You know what I'm saying? And we can dismiss certain things with it, in certain narratives, certain articles. You know what I'm saying? But we have to have a long range memory also. In fact, we got a saying, we gotta have a memory like a Kenyan elephant. We gotta remember those who get down for us. You know what I'm saying? Get down for the people. You know what I'm saying? So I can't reiterate that enough. So again, locking our minds and our hearts. What has been the response from the people, the community, in regards to this, I mean, I want to say the intensified harassment. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think something that sometimes it becomes a norm, and like we don't point it out. You know what I'm saying? But it becomes this is the way it goes. But what is the community response and assessment of these intensified attacks?
It's been nothing but overwhelming love and support by community members. I was at a strike on a picket line with the nurses at Children's Hospital Oakland shout out to all of our caregivers today. And they were also extremely supportive, and they said whatever you need, whenever you need, is what they wanted to just make sure that I knew is that we got your back. And likewise, I feel the same way for workers. But my community, my colleagues, they've just been amazing, and that's why I always put my faith in stock in the people, because that's where the protection is.
Right on, right on. How anything else you want that we should be brought? We want to seize the time with the opportunity. That have a into the ground what's happening there. And again, this is these are contradictions that one way or another. That the state they employ on those who take a stance for us. But is anything in particular we should be any made aware of, or any sites that we can be kept, the people outside of Oakland, I'm speaking in particular, they can be kept abreast of what's going on, and and how the climate about this, as well as the moves still being made. Because I want to point this out, even though these attacks, I knew. I made a joke one time. I think you was under the weather. We said, I know you ain't gonna stop, but even the work's still going on, so that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Any ways that people can support, the work they're going, as well as that dual duty of still that security question.
Yes, I'm definitely working with my team to increase the security and the safety protocols that we undertake, and I'm grateful, deeply grateful for the soldiers that's around me. I wouldn't do this without them, but I will say that folks can definitely check out and stay abreast to my social media pages, and that's Carol_Fife, and that's Carol with 2 R's and 2 L's, because really it's so easy to see what the state is doing right now, because I'm the primary voice for calling out the contradictions in the system. Folks act like I created white supremacy and all of the conditions that exist in the community. I'm the one out here trying to rectify them, but they're coming at me like I somehow created them. And so just be able to call it out when you see it, because it's a bunch of nonsense, and it's the same patterns, it's the same Jedi mind tricks, generation after generation. The tactics are old, but just help me keep the community abreast of how these tricks have been played out in the past, because one of my main harassers comes online frequently with Chairman Fred Sr.'s picture in the background. So it's important to recognize that they are still the same kind of, cover up and trying to act like they're with the people, but you're really the vampire sucking off the people.
Yeah.
And so, it's the same I'm trying to watch my language. Same mess, different day.
Yeah.
The same mess you're experiencing in other cities is happening right here in Oakland. So it's easy to call out the tactics.
Well, we the love, respect, and appreciation we have for you transcends Oakland, California. And spirit internationalism. We love and appreciate you. We got your back like a backpack, chest like a bulletproof vest. We keep us posted. These airways are always open. On a side note, but another note, man, love and miss y'all. And just commend you. All the comrades there. The people there. The people. Again, this. Because again, sometimes people see the end result of the process and just say, "Oh, that's easy. That's good." But again, I don't want to put this out there like a damper or like a pessimist. But it's important that that these moves are being made. We talk about these campaigns for housing and basic other survival needs under contested conditions. And I say contested conditions. I use the analogy. It's one thing to talk to a shadow boxer. And the shadow boxer tells you about, how good, his or her respective, right hook, left, uppercut is. But you start talking about that dynamic up in that ring, you know what I'm saying, and that mat. You start talking about that dynamic with you expose the referees they put in there is working with, you know what I'm saying, is the advantage, you know, the adversary. You start talking about that dynamic of, you know what I'm saying, so straight out, you know what I'm saying, you got to watch the person they put around you, the people in the audience, all that. And this is we want to heighten those contradictions. And not that we, you know, we crying the blues and nothing, no, but again, be very clear. And it never should be assessed as a beef or this person against this person. To heighten the contradiction and say whose interest. You know what I'm saying? Look at the end of the day, you go back and look at. Wait a minute, how does this benefit the people? You know what I'm saying? What's their track record? You know what I'm saying? And we encourage you. We calling you. Go check out Councilwoman Carol Fife's track record, y'all. Love and respect. We live on the record, Freedom on Radio, on the spirit of making history, taking history, and taping history. 929-477-3785. Press 1. Councilman Fife, anything else you want to add to us? Hello? Still there? Hello? Am I still on? Huh? Okay. Welcome to Freedom on Radio.
Call it 318. Live on Freedom on Radio. Freedom on, Chairman Friend. This is Stephen and Monroe.
Freedom on, welcome to Freedom on Radio. We call live direct from I don't know if y'all are familiar to my Monroe, Louisiana, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Right on. Welcome to Freedom on Radio. I think last time you had touched down with us, we was giving us some updates, y'all. For those not familiar, just a little background. That whole area, Monroe, Louisiana, Shreveport, Haynesville, you know what I'm saying? I mean, so many giants, you know what I'm saying? Come from this location. I mean, it's that red clay dirt, all is down there. In fact, Chairman Fred Hampton is buried down in Haynesville, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? And y'all remember the campaign we had in regards to Chairman Fred. I guess I'm young brother, young sister here. I don't know if y'all know Chairman Fred's tombstone is shot up every year by law enforcement. That's the bullet riddled tombstone. That's the picture right there. That's his tombstone. It's shot up every year. And if I bring you on, Steve, I got a brother and sister I met today in DuSable Museum. DuSable Museum named after Jan.25 DuSable. Y'all know the history of him? I'm sure y'all do. Right on. Jan.25 DuSable. Initially out of Peoria, Illinois. Yeah, Peoria, same place Defense Captain Mark Clark was born at. Richard Pryor born at Peoria, Illinois. He's Jan.25 DuSable was a fur trader. His wife was indigenous, native, Karen. I can't recall her full name, and he came up the river and was one of the first non-native inhabitants. What came to be known as Chicago, and you would wonder like, what's the big issue? This cat, he should be known more. But Dr. Margaret T. Burroughs, who founded the DuSable Museum in her home, her and her husband, Charles Burroughs, inside the home, and later grew at the DuSable Museum on 5700 South Cottage Grove. Wednesdays is free. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a docent. I used to speak up there, you know. Shout out to Dr. Margaret T. Burroughs, Dr. Davenport, and so many others. And that wasn't no easy task, you know what I'm saying, get Chairman Fred. I just come home, get Chairman Fred a job up in there, and I was in there. But today, I was up there to meet with some brothers, and I went downstairs after I left, and I came across, I walked up in this, it's an area they show on the footage against the Black Panther Party, and Chairman Fred, the Black Panther Party. And I was eavesdropping on this brother and sister. I'm listening to him, so he was talking about the movie and different stuff. So I asked him, I said, well, enlighten me, tell me this stuff, you know. So they was telling me questions, telling me different things, and something. I mean, you called. And she said he was in the bedroom when they came in and with his wife, and let me say that Deborah Johnson, I know is a Cool and Jerry. That's political. This is Black Panther Party was a revolutionary organization. I don't know. That mean they complete change. A lot of people be jiving to them. Yeah, man, I can't stand these man, the white man, the sister. They weren't jiving. You know what I'm saying? The whole transformation on our own terms, self-determination. It was an organization, and we said we walk in them paw prints where he was Chairman Fred, not because the state sanctioned it. Their Minister of Health, Doc Sachs, was their Minister of Health, not because the CDC said it. That was Chairman Fred's wife, now his widow, not because they didn't ask the system. Say, listen, I know we say y'all bogus about what y'all doing us in these schools and lead paint and all that, but could you stop for 2 seconds and validate our relationships? They was consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? So I heard that when you said that. You know what I'm saying? In the terms, Chairman Fred was assassinated. A lot of people say, what's the big deal? It don't be, the terms are important. You don't think they're important as Whoopi Goldberg. Other communities, they hold people accountable about the terms they use. You know what I'm saying? So I'm listening to the sister and brother, and I'm asking, it caught my ear, and I was really impressed with this brother and sister. I was really, I said, nothing to hope I'm not being too invasive, but y'all a couple. And he told me, yeah, that really, it made my day in so many ways, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because again, every aspect of our community is under attack. You know what I'm saying? Our manhood, our womanhood, our childhood, our humanity, our relationships. You know what I'm saying? Even deal with each other. I'm not just talking about relationship first comes to mind. Our families, our communities, how we dialogue with each other. And I said, man, it really struck me. I invited them to come to the Hampton House, and they came out here today, and I'm really impressed with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let them tap in with us in a minute though. But I'll tell the mother comrade, Chairman Fred Hampton's widow, my mother. This for y'all. This is her jail picture. This that's her jail photo. Chairman Fred's jail photos around here somewhere too. But that's that night / that morning, 4:35 in the morning. They took out. That's Chairman Fred's robe. Yeah. She was on the scene on the set. Actually, this is where we met at. Daniel Kaluuya sat there. Dominique Fishback right there. We first said that, and that was filmed December the 4th. Actually, that scene that we was right there. Everything down to we was the cultural experts. Make sure that she wasn't crying on the stage. You know what I'm saying? All that was we was right there on the set when that happened. And we had a big debate for years how to deal with this tombstone being shot up. So we didn't want to. Some people said, "Why don't you cover it?" We said, "No, we want the world to see this here." So we ended up getting like a casing over it. So that's down. He's buried in Haynesville, Louisiana, and every Father's Day we make it down there. Unfortunately, this past Father's Day we didn't make it down there. This brother who's online with us right now, covered down over it, make sure everything good, and can't see by the chairman, and so it's an ongoing relationship. Something's going okay. Like, and a lot of people say that, like, even when the tombstone was shot up, people say, "Well, you need to put some cameras down there so you can catch them." I said, "They not hiding. They not. This ain't no secret. They know they come down there and do this." And it's how they say, one day the South will rise again. We say we in the South. We don't know it ever failed. Speaking of which, Brother Stephen down in Monroe, what's going on with a school board member? What happened down there in Monroe, Louisiana, brother? Bring us up to speed.
This was a school secretary at a high school. She sent a text message out to a coach. I don't know if the coach is a black man or white man, but she sent a coach out telling the coach to remind his students, his players, that there will be no practice on Monday because we'll close, she said, for Nigger Day, Martin Luther King Jr. birthday. And the coach replied back, she said, for Nigger Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, that the school's going to be closed for Monday. And the coach replied back like, "What? Why would you say that?" And she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to see you that."
She said so she sent it to the coach by accident.
Yes. She must have thought she was taking somebody else.
Yeah.
Another teacher. Yeah. And everything got exposed. It was all over Facebook and.
Y'all who ain't seen this, Google this. And this, let me jump in and tag team with you though. And people like again. A lot of times we hear about this stuff. Oh, that's just racism. We need to overcome. There's she's okay. If I'm correct, she's in what capacity of the school board or the school administration is she in?
She was a secretary at the high school.
Secretary of the high school.
Called Washita High School.
Washita High School. See, I can't stress enough. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's insulting when people just tell us, like to value these different. These contradictions, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, this. Now you might say, okay, so she's not a teacher; she's a secretary of the school. That dynamic, a secretary of the school, I mean, all the school, you are impacted by the janitor at the school. In fact, I tell people, I say the politics of a school. Growing up, I say if ever I've ever saw a black man in a school, it was a janitor. That was it. That was it. So and you can remember the story. These are people that you come into contact with. You know, I tell people, children going to school now. The security, the screening, the police, all this is set up like a prison, like a joint, like a concentration camp. So it's just a secretary. These are people you come into school that you got to see when you go to the office. These are people in authority. So there's a person that feel comfortable sending this text like about referencing Dr. King as nigga. So you can imagine how she feel about the black people in general. You know what I'm saying? So these are the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? We can see it when it hits the boiling point or the boil point about the police, as we've seen the case of Tyree Nichols in Mississippi, but the everyday dynamics. The everyday dynamics, you know what I'm saying, of, you know what I'm saying, how it impacts you. Malcolm talked about as a child, you know what I'm saying, the teacher told him you can never be a lawyer. You know, these are different. And then a lot of times we have a reactionary assessment like, well, we need to get more black teachers, so on and so forth. Did this here. We see different people in different situations and we just think that's by happenstance. There are policies set up where even white women teachers can get their student loans forgiven to go do a certain amount of service time in the quote unquote urban schools. You know what I'm saying? Go to the jungle. That movie Gangsta Paradise. The Michelle Pfeiffer, that dynamic, that's the makeup, you know what I'm saying, coming in with these wild kids. And you'll think, oh, that's nice that they come to work with the incentive, the policies that are set up, the political dynamics, they have a psychological profile. Like in the prisons, it's a certain sort of guard they have working the visitor room. That guard is the more palatable one. Your people come visit you, oh, that's nice. You know, they keep a certain guard, you know, sitting back in the cell house. In our communities, they have the profile. You think they roll the dice to get 5 of them Negroes to beat that man like the way they beat that man Tyree Nichols in Mississippi? They knew. Listen, you do psychological profiles. You go into the liquor store. When you go into when you walk down the street, you can pick up on who a loose cannon, who high. They knew, and they released these. They put them in our community, and it's done by design. It's political, y'all. So again, this is the secretary at Washington High School. Go Google it. One of the most impactful positions of any organization, secretary. Real talk. Yes, indeed.
It's actually deeper than that, Sheriff Fred. I remember when I was in junior high. This was like around '97. I used to walk home from school with my friend. So this was in junior high. So the junior high school, like right next door. This is Western Road Junior High School. Western Road Junior High, Western Road High School. We used to walk home from school. It wasn't uncommon for us to be called nigga by some white boys in Detroit with Confederate flags on it. This is like '97, 1997. Yeah, and then the mascot at Western Road High School. Y'all can Google this. Western Road High School Confederate flags. They had to find the Confederate flags. The mascot was called Johnny Rail, a man of Confederate. That was the mascot, Confederate uniform, and they banned it. They finally banned it in 2015, but get this, they couldn't have the flags on poles on their trucks. They can still have the flags, they just couldn't fly them, and they can still wear the clothes with Confederate flags on them. It's still going on to this day.
And this is Monroe, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I think back, you know, you just triggered some of my thoughts, man. You know, this before Dr. King Day was even a holiday. Ironically, I went to one of the high schools I attended was the same high school my mother had attended. And, you know, I remember one time, she came into the school one time, and one of the same teachers was there, you know, and to tell you how weird it was. But I remember the fights. You know what I'm saying? They just for talking about even Dr. King holiday become a holiday. And I remember us going outside after coming out of school in an area known as Canaryville, you know, it's still notorious. And the fights we would have, you know what I'm saying, with the white children, the community, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, this is, you know, I think it was more difficult too, because you had this whole reference to this so-called post-racial society. But you see, I think it's more better to deal with, to at least have acknowledged. And that, see, racism is one of the top tools used by capitalism. You know what I'm saying? And that dynamic of what it breeds and the comfortability for people. You know what I'm saying? For not only the white community per se, but other communities that come in and just feel they can do as they will with the black community. You know what I'm saying? Selling what you want to sell them. You don't have to abide by no, you know what I'm saying, no rules, and again, it impacts, back to what I said earlier, food, clothing, and shelter. Even education is political. You go back, most of the textbooks in the schools, you say, why are they written out of Texas, out of all places, you know what I'm saying? And you go back and look at the fight against what they call critical thinking, the critical analysis. They want you to become this robots, you know what I'm saying? And that's, we have to, we have to be able to tap in, make the connection what's going on, regards to the housing crisis, housing contradiction, to the food contradiction, to the education, or better yet, the miseducation. You know what I'm saying? About, people. Let me tell you, even how important school, the place in politics of schools. When I had the opportunity to be in Africa for the first time, and the door of no return. This is the door. When you get to Ghana, they said this would be like the last door you would leave out before being placed on a slave ship, you know what I'm saying, and transported out to the different locations known as the seasoning period. Because I tell you, it wasn't just no straight, no one-way ticket to North America. They would take us and break our families up, our communities up, you know what I'm saying, some of us, to Jamaica, Haiti, you know what I'm saying. Haiti was, hey, man, whoo. Hey, let them get paid and get past Haiti because was giving their ass hell. The first Black Republic, I'm talking about, hey man, they still shake you, Toussaint Louverture, Dessalines, you know what I'm saying? When the French heard that Coupe Top Bouliquet, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of which, the brother and sister I'm with today, we talking about the lineage of Haiti. But I was, so the door of no return in Ghana, they were showing me different places, and you had the room with the actual official. The rapes. You know what I'm saying? Where they rape the women at, and they would have them right here. And when the men come past, this would be like their last scene. They would bring the men out. You know what I'm saying? The dark dungeon, and you would see the rapes. They're raping the women, and then all this going down here. And above this, they had the place in. This was they call this for the mulattoes. This is the school. They had an actual school, so you up there getting the education, while all this horror is going down right here. And you think about it now, like I just seen some article there where Spike Lee was saying when they filmed School Days, the colorism battles that was happening even with the filming of it. And so he said even education, how it's viewed. And in fact, not to be training. It be training as opposed to education, y'all. We live in the red. We talking about what's happening down in Monroe, Louisiana. We talking about what's happening in Oakland, California. We talking about what's happening in Cook County Jail, Chicago, you name it. In the spirit of internationalism, we rolling, we moving and grooving, making history, taking history, taking history. I'm not in the studio today, y'all. We got to call last minute. You know how it's gonna move. I said, wait a minute, y'all. Man, if we come down and we got to use 210 cans of string, so be it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So again, live and direct on Freedom on Radio, 929-477-3785. I think my sister just said, I'm scared to answer this call. Y'all call, you can call 929-477-3785 and press 1. If I answer this phone, I don't know if it's me, with my incapabilities with technology, I lose the volume on this, you know what I'm saying? So I can't answer the phone, but you know what I'm saying? We can, and I don't know, can you hear me on Facebook? Let me know, because I know they be saying we going in and out. We going in and out. You know what I'm saying? Before I close out, I'm bring this young brother and sister, you know what I'm saying? I'm let them step in with us too, because I really was inspired by them today. It really helped make my day. But Steve, any more updates you want to give us, my brother?
Man, that was it right there, man. I just want to say y'all keep doing what y'all doing, man. I love y'all and I support y'all, man.
Man, we going to keep doing it, dude. Free them all. Appreciate you, my brother. Right on. We live in the record Freedom on Radio, y'all. Making history, taking history, and taking history. We about down to the close now. Any more calls in queue?
No, sir, Chairman, no calling.
I'm wrapping up all this coffee. Yeah. So, brother and sister, met y'all today. And I'm just gonna bring y'all steps so people can see y'all a little bit too. Well, okay. This again. This I'm throw them on the spot, but they was so I met them today, and I told them to come on through to the Hampton House. You know what I'm saying? That's the brother and the sister right here. And 19 years, both y'all 19, right?
Yes.
And I was man, I was it was inspiring. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they was down there talking. What probably the same question I asked y'all earlier. So why was y'all? This was no school trip or nothing like this. Y'all on your own. I pointed out, you know what I'm saying. This was a lot of people say, "Oh man, I went to. I used to be a docent up there." So y'all, what made y'all be at the museum today?
So we actually had plans to go to the art museum earlier today. So like we were saying, this is just like how God works. But we had plans to go to the art museum today. Our museum's closed on Wednesdays. We didn't know this, and I was just thinking in the back of my head because we always have these conversations, and I almost forgot about the DuSable Museum. I used to go all the time when I was a kid. So I was like,
Who took? You say you want? Okay, let's make sure I hear. Okay, this brother and sister at the DuSable Museum, and I'm asking what made them go there today. And he was just brother. He telling me, say he went there as a child all the time. But who took you there in?
My dad. Like, I'm Haitian, so when you talk about Haitian Revolution and Tucson and all that, I hear that all the time in my ears. So my dad's a member of the I believe it's Haitian American something club. So they take trips out there all the time.
Yeah.
To DuSable Museum and things like that. I think I had a school trip too before. So I've been there just a few times. So.
Your dad took you right on.
Yeah,
I'm right on.
Yeah.
And so okay. So okay. Call a sister. Well, I'm just we going y'all going to the other museum, our museum.
Yeah, we were going to our museum.
Our museum closed.
And our museum's closed, and we just came. We decided to go DuSable Museum last minute, and as we went in there, I just forgot just how like impactful. Because like when you're younger, you know, I have these thoughts and ideas.
They 19. You said when they're younger. Yeah. They 19, y'all.
Yeah. But you know when I'm really younger,
back in the days, yeah.
You know, you don't like these thoughts don't resonate with you like as deeply as it does now that you're older and you're maneuvering through the world and you see like just how these systems actually work at play against you. So now like we have these conversations all the time and we just decided to go and we
y'all forgive me. We gonna in a minute. We gonna have set up professional like the park like 85 South the Drink Channel. We gonna have all our microphones, everything. Though you'll see. So let me know if y'all can hear this conversation we got going on. When I came up, y'all was talking about the Judas, I think the movie too.
Yeah,
Judas. Oh, you okay? What's your name again, sister? Mariah. Elijah. What did you okay? When did y'all first see the movie? Did y'all
together?
Oh, y'all.
So first, my friend, her dad was.
And y'all listen in.
Telling us about the movie at first when it first
who's that?
My best friend's dad.
Okay.
Was telling us about it when it first came out.
Judas and Black Messiah.
Right. So we sat down and we watched the movie, and it just left like an impression on me. Like everything was.
At your friend's house, y'all watched the movie Judas and Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
So then I was like, okay, I have to watch this movie with someone because we were talking about all the movies we were gonna watch, and I'm like, okay, let's watch this one. So we watched it. And as we were walking afterwards to go get some food, after we watched the movie, we're like, okay, well, how do we get involved? Like, we can't just sit here with all this information. Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, so we started searching online, like, Black Panther Party, like, is it still around or whatever the case may be? And I didn't see that much on it, so it just kind of like, so it's just crazy that when we went to the museum today, we came across you, and it's just like how it's coming full circle.
How long ago did y'all see the movie?
It wasn't long. I'd say
it was not long.
Maybe a month or two.
Yeah, it was like maybe a month or two.
I'm gonna let both of them sit right here before we leave out here. So but still, it's a poster. I'm so man inspired. You know what I'm saying? And like this type of conversation, y'all. You know what I'm saying? These type of like it was a climb during the Black Power movement of the '60s. You did where different type of street organization, different type of athlete. Different type of relationship, where, you know, I'm listening to, I'm dissecting the conversation with them. They talking about, like type of dates. I'm talking about they at the museum hanging out. So I just want to commend them for that. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure anyone calls. I want y'all to see both of them. Before y'all cool with that?
Yeah,
Okay, man. I'm gonna give y'all an official tour through here also. Yeah. This is this is a hell of a day today. And again, sometimes we go through battle fatigue, man. It's and you they give you images, of us defeated images, or people that that's not this situation is not inspiring, and it's toxic out there, man. But this is what I'm saying, and we're not gonna romanticize it. We're gonna go ups and downs, struggles, but this is very inspiring. So I'm glad I went to today. Had told you brothers earlier, and I said I'm gonna come through. I said y'all won't come to the Hampton House whenever. I'm doing the show tonight. And here they go. They pull up. After people say pull up, they pull it up. They pull it up, man. You real talk, y'all. So I want to commend y'all, man. I want to make sure y'all stay in contact with us with the work we're doing. We need that energy. Real talk. So I'm gonna let y'all see. Then give me something to take us on out with. I know I got a couple more. I'm moving and grooving. Oh, look, okay, look, that's people saying inspiration right on Sister Felicia, right on, exactly right on Paris. Mother Comrade, that's Mother Comrade, Cool and Jerry right there. She's glad to hear the young couple. Looking forward to meeting them. Thanks to the young man's dad, right on. Yeah, both. Yeah, that's right on. Yeah. So right on. Let me let y'all see them again. Ain't about some energy up into the Hampton House, and they came through here, man. Again, I was very inspired today. Say tell the next generation, free them out. Yes, indeed. Palante, power to people right on. Hey, is that Comrade Chan Paul? Don't y'all got an event coming up or something? I just seen a flyer y'all had something. To put it up there, make sure y'all let us know so we can announce it. Some event, Young Lords. Y'all familiar with the Young Lords? Okay, it's a picture. Okay, y'all, even the Rainbow Coalition. Chairman Frey authored the Rainbow Coalition. The Young Lords is the Puerto Rican organization, Lisa Chacha Jimenez. They won certain points of political unity. Young Patriots was the pro-white group, and the street organizations, the Stone Disciples, and Vice Lords, they won them certain points of unity. This was the Rainbow Coalition, Chairman Freya author. You know what I'm saying? And we, some comrades today that we working with still, the indigenous community, the native community, Tiny House Warriors. You know what I'm saying? Amongst others, we still getting down. So did y'all put in my old videos up today? I had time.
We were just scrolling through your Instagram a little bit.
Okay.
Sure, so.
Yeah, I'm still working this Instagram together. I'm still
For sure.
Yeah.
No, we were sitting here. We were just thinking a little bit. We just see just the history, and we see just how powerful we used to move as a people collectively.
Yeah.
And how just invested everyone was into the fight. We just want to get that. We feel I get exactly what you mean when you say fatigue.
Yeah.
Because we try and get other people, other youth, to feel as passionate about this as we do.
Yeah.
But it's hard to come across it. So we're trying to do our best to try and reach, because in the age with so much that they're feeding us right now. Is
I told myself,
negative.
19 years old. Yeah, man, it's rough, but we gonna battle it out. Young Lords every Thursday, 7:30 in Humboldt Park on North Avenue. Okay, right on. Political education, hip hop, and pizza. Okay, right on. I laugh when I think about the food. One of our comrades, I asked the fallen comrade, gangster girl. I remember, I said, what made the annual Chairman Fresh Street Party, August 30th, put that on y'all calendar too. I said, what made you come to our event? She said, I see that thing say free food on there. I feel like laughing, you know what I'm saying? So now people see that on the flyer, they'll be there. August 30th, y'all, the annual Chairman Fresh Street Party, December the 4th. International Revolutionary Day, February 11th. A lot of people that you ain't never heard, you know what I'm saying, been getting acknowledged, gonna be getting some acknowledgement on February 11th at United Center. Stay tuned for that, February 11th. Keep y'all posted on that. What else? February, so many things going on. Moving and grooving. I'm gonna keep y'all posted, y'all. But give me something, what time is it now? 8:22. I'm gonna let y'all see this couple right here. Just step in real quick, so we see both y'all. That's a poster right there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. That's a poster. You know, it's inspiration, y'all. Y'all know the business. Y'all keep on coming in with us every Wednesday, Free 'em All Radio. What you got? What you got for us to take us out with? Give me that Chairman Fred speech.
President Trump reportedly grew frustrated during immigration discussions in the Oval Office Thursday and responded with an expletive. According to the Washington Post, the president complained about the U.S. taking immigrants from African countries and Haiti. Mr. Trump asked why people from those countries were coming to America.
Coincidence with capitalism. Strange incidents or imperialism.
Yeah.
It's happenstance.
It's a poem I did, man. He was waiting, he found it.
Some may call it conspiracy theory. However, logically speaking, one could just take a brief look at history. World gangsters and banksters felt like they philanthropists. The same motherfuckers that's been concentrating on conquering us, feel like they suddenly give a fuck about us. The Red Cross and other U.S.-controlled crime bosses, exploiting our emotions and capitalizing off our crimes. It's big business and bad black bodies. In other words, some motherfuckers benefiting every time one of us dies. You see, the system has written the script, and it's how it's supposed to go. We kumbaya our ass, then cast and dance to our damn death. While preachers, politicians, and Pied Pipers tell us to bow our heads and close our eyes and surrender, surrender, till you have another damn thing left. They shoot us, then display us as losers. Then they break into UN and the rest of the U.S. friends. Black water forces who not going to the new name of Z, whom like a fatal disease, once they get in, they don't never plan on leaving. With friends like these, who in the fuck these enemies? That means that every time they fuck us, we forgive them. And when they don't kill us and just capture us, we somehow, some twisted form of fashion, thank them for letting us live. Through their policies, practices, and propaganda, they even do us believe that everything that's happening bad to black folks is because of the shit that we done did. Or even more sinister and deeper than that. They done damn declared, as a matter of fact, that God himself is determined to us in. Katrina ain't killed nobody. America did. For a time we get credit where credit is due. And for those of you that say here he comes again, blaming the government and white folks, I say goddamn the crime fix, lace up the motherfucking shoes. Rupert Murdoch, Fox, and the rest of them media motherfuckers who control them idiot boxes ain't nothing but another division of the pigs. Whose directive is to be sure to force feed us nothing but falsehood and hogwash. This shit's so sickening, seeing the images on how they be portraying us. They're the same ones that's coming to slay us, put out to the world, goddamn it, they come to save us.
President Trump tonight ignoring questions as outrage grows after his vulgar insult, calling African nations assholes. Assholes. Assholes.
Haiti, the land of my brother man and my sister woman. Now the ones that kick Napoleon's ass. The land of sugarcane and Africans. The land in which they enslaved the folks. The ones that International Monetary Fund left with debt in order to keep them broke. The country in which in 1983 a despot by the name of Duvalier was validated by the Pope. The land in which machetes met the gringos folk. And the ones that provided inspiration to the black folks throughout the globe in 1804. The ones that the imperialists have never forgiven for committing the quote-unquote crime of refusing to be colonized. The land in which the women who were forced to be bed warmers to master the bed and the grave. And guaranteed, goddammit, to never again we get up. The sons and daughters who went without water for days and days under the concrete never gave up. Some refused who is simply a slave stock. However, through the eyes of the colonized, and international struggle for independence, you, with the minimum, have given us such a lot. Like surgical strikes, the mamas and papas are did away with. And as in the case of the Aborigines in Australia, we become forced to witness our children become open season for white folks picking.
President Trump reportedly grew frustrated during immigration discussions in the Oval Office Thursday and responded with an expletive. According to the Washington Post, the president complained about the U.S. taking immigrants from African countries and Haiti. Mr. Trump asked why people from those countries were coming to America.
mind will be blown if you get them who know the motives of those that have interest in the population control. In fact, in the spirit of modern day slavery, they see the world as a stock market in which you are viewed as a share. Many of us couldn't even imagine the motives of these motherfuckers and their mass murderers. Like, why would the World Health Organization implement practices in order to decrease the world population? And how does China, Great Britain, America, and our allies benefit us there being tragedies and devastation? Nah, if this appears to be merely nothing but ancient history with powers that be, was it goddamn not too long ago they kicked in the doors and blatantly told the former president they hated to leave? And what system in interest of mass murder made mass fiction and had some sticky formaldehyde and FEMA trailers that would get them in nothing more than modern day gas chambers in New Orleans?
President Trump tonight ignoring questions as outrage grows after his vulgar insult calling African nations assholes.
In Haiti, was it coincidentally that initially the Israelis were the only entity with the ability to operate a medical facility? And who was it that deemed that across seas without rockets? That a former VP by the name of Dick Cheney and his co-ops from Halliburton controlled all of the contracts and had previously ran the same racket domestically down in New Orleans. When the Polish brother-in-law, Leclerc, sent word to the resistance to relinquish their swords, Jean.25 Dessalines sent back the following words. Coupe-tat pour le quai. In other words, this is what he had to say. Up with their heads and burn their houses.
Free them all, y'all. Same time, same station next week, y'all. It's been making history, taking history, taking history, y'all. It's been a ball. Free them all. Cooper Top Bouliquet. Free them all, y'all.